one good memory to draw on, but now you got another pretty good one, right?
I got two now. That's good. Yeah, that's true. We won up there, and what was weird, somebody told me it was the same score, and so yeah, it was a good day. Good day. That was another good day. We've had some tough games with Navy. They're hard to play. They're hard to play on Senior Day. I don't know how we drew that one, but they're always tough. They're always tough to play, and they're a lot better team than their record. I know a lot of people say that's coaches talking all, but they are. They are, and it was a heck of a ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Don, I talked with Mike earlier today about how he motivates the team and pumps them up, pregame speech, all that stuff, and what you guys work on all week. What about this type of game? Is this the type of game where you got to work, make sure they're not too pumped up, kind of keep them focused and not too fired up to get out there? And
it's a great question. The hard part about the job is that there is no manual that says, okay, do this, do that. You have to get a feel, you have to get a read for them. Coach does a great job of that. I mean, that's obviously something that I think he excels in. So we come in Sunday, and you don't know how the team's coming back off of that game. It's a great celebration. They deserve that, no doubt. So are they going to come in and they're not going to want to do anything the next day? And we get to the film session. We're watching the game, and we had a little extra time. And so I put some Cincinnati film on. And Houghton, for example, knew more about Cincinnati. He knew more about their players than I did. They've had like 4 jersey changes. And I was still taking the scouting report looking like, okay, now number 12, who used to wear 12, he starts naming them. He's already looked at it. So I kind of was impressed with that. So I thought, wow, I'm really proud of the quarterbacks. I get down for the team meeting. There's like 4 or 5 other coaches saying, the kids have already been over here watching film for like an hour. And so we're like, we may not have to worry about jacking them up. Now maybe they're going to be too jacked up. But they are excited. How could you not be? I mean, excited because, truthfully, I don't know that we do have anything to lose. You always, I guess, do a little bit, but we got what are they, 4, 3, 2? I don't know. They're up there high, So, Dowdy Ficklin, Thanksgiving. Boy, there's a lot of good things in that sentence right there. So, tonight's practice was maybe the best practice of the year. They were so excited. They were so jacked up. They were running around. And I really thought we went out there, it was cold and it was rainy, and I didn't think we'd have a very good practice. I really thought we'd have to take the whip to them, and we didn't. So I think maybe the culture's just kind of changing. I think maybe they're getting it a little bit, So it's been a process. It didn't happen as fast as we wanted it to happen, and I don't know that it's totally happened yet. We'll be really challenged. We'll find out what we're really made of. But that is who we want to be right now. We want to be like what they are right now. So we're going to get a chance to measure ourselves.
How do you buy enough time for Houghton in the backfield to breathe against that Cincinnati defense? Do you back him up in the shotgun a little bit more?
And put him back there like he's punting?
What do you do?
No, I don't think you can change that. The offensive line's challenged every game. They got a couple cats that are pretty good. And, we played them last year. We didn't play them very well, I didn't think, last year. But, 2 years ago, we played them pretty well, and they were good then. I don't know if they're as good then as they are now, but they were pretty good. But, we'll have to help the O-line. We haven't had to do that as much the last couple of weeks. Now, some of that's been scheme because they've been so much 3 down, and they've been dropping 8. And, when you drop 8, you got 2 dilemmas. One, there's one more defender out there, so the holes and the windows are much tighter. But the pass rush is not quite as much sometimes when they only rush 3. Now, this group can blitz and can do some other things too, but we'll have to just vary those protections. We got to change our cadence up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like we did at Houston. That was one of the things we had to do to Houston. Houston was so good up front. They really challenged us. So we did a good job. If you'll notice, remember that game, they jumped off sides a bunch. He was hard counting them. He was changing it up. He's going on 2, he's going on 3. We'll have to do all those type of things. And the receivers going to have to get open fast. We tell them all the time, okay, you got to work the guy, but you got all day now. You better get open fast because he's going to have to throw it. And you know what? We got to run the ball. I think they're the number 2 pass. You always know these things. That's why I look at you like it because I know you're a stat guy. I think they're like the number 2 pass defense team in the country. So that doesn't mean we're not going to throw the ball, but that does tell me we better be able to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Or it would be a long day because the hardest thing to do in college football is pass protect. Okay, for a drop back pass. It's just hard to do. It's hard to do at any level, I guess. You got to throw the ball when you want to throw it. And to do that, you have to be able to run the ball.
Those corners, they're phenomenal on the back end. And
yeah.
I guess the same guys that played in 2019, they probably took that a little personal last year.
Yeah, I think
they
so.
got you guys last year. Are you kind of looking forward to that, battle between really some of the same receivers and corners that have been going at it for years?
Well, I'll be nervous about it. And, when we started watching them Sunday, I wasn't too excited about it. But as the week builds, as a competitor, that's what we do. We wouldn't do this if we didn't really enjoy the challenge. I know our players are fired up. CJ had the huge night, same guy. They'll get matched up a lot again. I'm sure they know each other well. You know what I'm saying? They got a few nicknames for each other. We'll have to calm CJ down because he will get emotional. He will get wired up a little bit like that too. And they are. Both corners are they're draft picks. You know what I'm saying? We talk to pro scouts all the time to come in. We ask them about the other people we play, and I think they're both ranked in the top 20 as it takes, whatever. So that's pretty darn good. They're long. They're tall. You know what I'm saying? They grab a lot. You know what I'm saying? They let them hold a lot. We'll have to be in the referee's ear a lot this week about their holding. We'll have to get a few pass interference calls, I think.
This is the most man you've probably seen a team run in a while, maybe even all year.
Yeah.
Any more one-on-ones going on with the outside guys in practice this week?
Yeah, we do one-on-ones every Tuesday practice, so it was pretty intense tonight. We asked for that scout team. We got a couple good young DBs too that are out there that we told them to hold them. We told them to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to flag you. Give them some good looks. So it was a really good spirited night tonight with the guys getting after it. The thing that's tough about Cincinnati's man coverage is, again, they do so many different types of man coverage. It's man free. It's man free with a rat, which means there's a linebacker in there free. And then they also drop out other guys. So sometimes they're in man coverage, but they're only rushing 3 guys. And it's amazing. But when you got those 3 guys rushing, it feels like there's 7 or 8 of them rushing sometimes. But they got extra guys, so you have to be careful just throwing it blind. Like we threw a few picks tonight in practice because we were giving them those looks, and that's a little bit different than what we've been going against. It's not just true man-to-man coverage or zero man coverage. You'd really rather it be that.
Donnie, I know this season didn't start out the way you guys maybe have wanted to,
No.
at least wins and losses, but this second half of the season's been a whole other story. Do you feel a little, there were some critics early on. Do you feel a little bit vindicated now with the way that the season's played out in the second half?
I probably have in such literally in a submarine that I don't know about the critics. I've heard more about the critics now that we're doing well because people are saying that or something about it. Every now and then I hear the players. I think it hurts their feelings a little bit. As coaches, I don't know. We're kind of used to it. When I was a young coach, I was a head coach at Chattanooga. It bothered me. Now I go, what? Yeah. Come take your shot at it, I guess, if you think you can do better. Or you'd already be doing it if you could, I guess. So I don't know that at the end of the year, I think that's when you sit down. Because right now I just don't have time to breathe because, we're the locker room's awesome after the Navy game. The bus is awesome. The plane's awesome. By the time I woke up Sunday, though, I'm like, oh, my God. We got to go play Cincinnati. And we got to play it a week. So I don't get to celebrate for much. But when the season's over, I think we will. I feel very good about we're back to at least bowl team. We're back to where we were when I left here, maybe the year before I left. But, again, that's not our goal. We didn't come here to go to whatever bowl game we're going to. We came here to win the conference. We came here to do more than that. We came here to do what the team we're getting ready to play is doing. And so that's when we'll lean back, I guess, and say, I might exit stage left when we get to that point.
Holden's, he's just playing at unreal level right now. Just what has changed for him in these last few games where he just seems to be seeing the field so well on game days?
Right now he's playing the best of anybody in the league. I would have said with the guy at SMU, but now he's playing better than the guy at SMU right now. I was talking to Garrett this morning, he said, hey, you got Holton playing better than that. And I said, well, I don't have him playing better than that, but he's playing better than that. I don't know, coming out of the open date, we were both a little depressed, I think, a little bit. I said, I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to back up a little bit, and I think he just said, I'm tired of worrying about it. I think he just freed his mind a little bit. I really think that's some of it. I think a big part of it is our kids are playing better around him. I've always said that a little bit. We haven't maybe helped him enough. Audie is making him look a lot better than he did early. Audie's making some plays. Audie's getting open. It's easier to throw to guys that are open. He's just more relaxed. He's catching the ball better. CJ's playing well. Snead's always going to play pretty well. You know what I'm saying? He don't have many downs and whatever. Ryan Jones coming on the scene right now. So I think the defenses are having a little bit more problem, and we're trying to run the ball, so they know you got to stop the run game, a little bit like that. So I think all that's helping Holton. The O-line, it's an amazing deal. They're patched up. We had to move 4 guys last week because we get there, and Noah had a back spasm during practice early in the week, so we kind of had an idea that it might be a rough week for him. He didn't play any. I remember I was in the press box, and they came out, and I said to Shank, I said, how's Noah? And he said, he's out. I said, he's out there on the field? Or what? And he said, no, he's out for the game. So we literally had to move Nashad, had to move Justin all the way over. So I had to make like 4 moves because we've lost 3 right tackles at that point. So it's been amazing how well they played, and they played really well. They've played well in this win streak. They've given him a lot more time to throw the ball. I've always said, if you give him time, he'll shred you now. It's different when they're hitting you in the chops a little bit right before you have time to throw the ball. And he said, so everybody around he's playing better, and that's a big part of it.
Speaking of Holton, he's on record now a couple times saying that he's going to decide what he wants to do with next year at the end of the season. I imagine you'd love to have him back. Which kind of your sales pitch to Holton to get him to come back to ECU next year?
We've had a few talks. Again, we had a long talk, open date, when we had a little bit of time. We rested him a little bit that week about the future. And, I knew there was some things going on in his head. And I just support him. I just said, hey, whatever's you do, I'm always going to be your biggest fan. So this week we just talked a little bit because there's a senior deal going on and all that. And I said, well, it'll be kind of a big deal now if you if you and your parents step out there. The fans will take notice a little bit more. And, I don't think he realized that a little bit too. So what we've both left it at is let's have no distractions. Let's just go finish this season out. Let's go play as good as we can play this Friday. And then we're going to sit down and talk about it. I know his family's going to come over, be heavily involved in that, as they should be. But really, we're just going to support him, whichever. I mean, Lord, yeah, we want him. I mean, no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll support him in whatever he's done. In the end, his legacy's just going to get bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? So we'll find out. But right now, he didn't want to talk about it much more than that either. He just wants to talk about Cincinnati, and that's really where our focus needs to be.
Not to take anything away from Owen, but twice in the game you had the ball with roughly 2 minutes left, and combined you come away with 10 points. Can you talk a little bit about the two-minute drills in the game?
Well, I feel good about the 2-minute drills. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. We practice that a lot. we practice it like every Thursday, and then we didn't practice it this week because the defense was all defending the option, and so we didn't go against each other any. And Coach had kind of come over and said, are you okay with that? And I was like, I think we're good. We practiced it so much. We've had several times in the game. But then all of a sudden, wow, you get 2 of them, you're thinking like maybe we should have practiced it. It's too late to make that decision then. But, the only thing was we almost kind of a little clock management there on the one play. We had a little bit of miscommunication there. And that's the one bad thing about being in the box is you're not there. You got to talk through someone else to get your message and all. But in the end, Coach had control of it and got it taken care of. But, the throw to Snead was huge. And the catch was unbelievable to that. I know Coach had made a comment about it. We'd gotten the ball back, but we were kind of backed up. And I said, well, how aggressive do you want me to be at this point? Because you don't want to turn it over and lose the game. And, so we kind of laughed about what he said. I won't say what he said. And then we kind of worked it out. And, we ran play or whatever, swung the ball out wide, I think. And then right when he said, now he's going to be smart right here, aren't he? And I said, well, there's no guarantee what he's getting ready to do right here, because we had a play called for Snead. In fact, the play was named Snead. So I knew he was throwing it to Snead, you know what I'm saying? And then I thought, God, I hope that safety doesn't back up. And he kind of bet on the play like we were hoped he would. So great throw, great catch. But
were you a little worried when you saw it was 3 high? Because Holton said today he was only supposed to throw it against quarters.
Yeah, so it was a 2 safety look that we were hoping for, and that's what I was saying. When we saw the 3 safeties, that's when Coach said, now he's going to be smart right here, isn't he? And I said, there's no guarantee what he's going to do right now. But the safety did come down. So in fairness to him, it wasn't the look we wanted, but the guy screwed it up enough that it turned into the look I guess we needed.
Did you learn enough last year from playing Cincinnati and has this team improved enough where you can come in and do some things a little differently and, buy him a little bit of time in his internal clock?
Well, we've played them twice, you know what I'm saying? So, and they haven't changed a lot. Now, they've got a new defensive coordinator. The other one went to Notre Dame, and so they do have a new defensive coordinator. But this is kind of Coach Fickle's defense, so they haven't changed very much. They're basically doing the same thing. And the personnel hasn't changed much in 2 years either. They've got a lot of guys back. So I think we know them. We know the scheme. The thing about them is they don't do a lot of different stuff. Sometimes you got the whole board full. You're like, my God, look at all these blitzes. Look at all these defenses they run. How will we ever figure all that out? This week it's not. They run a couple base looks, they come a couple base blitzes or whatever, because they haven't had to do it. Nobody's been able to make them have to do anything else. They can just line up and say, we're just going to play our defense. We're not going to make a lot of mistakes, and we can whip you. And that's worked for them, for the last 2-3 years. So I think we know them, and we got to match up with them a little bit better now, I think, this year, because I think we're better. We're a lot better than we were year one. I know we had a really good offensive game year one, but we're a lot better than we were year one. We didn't play very good up there last year. I'm saying that was really a bad game, just in a lot of different ways. So our kids, they want to get that out of their mouth. I know that they want to go play better.
You've played in empty Dowdy-Ficklin,
Yeah.
and you've played in a packed Dowdy-Ficklin.
So I have.
Home field advantage is something to positive.
Yeah.
How important is it to have Dowdy packed Friday?
It would be very disappointing if it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that is a large part of who we are, and getting this thing turned back around, I think that's important. It'll be important to the players, it'll be important to the seniors. I get in the press box and I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? It's not loud. You know what I'm saying? And I know we've had a couple good crowds, and we had a couple, where the weather wasn't very good or whatever reason, the crowds weren't quite as good. But all the coaches and the players have all said the crowd, it's been loud. It's been loud down there. So who's coming's being loud. But it would be great to get back to the days of 51,000 out there packing this stadium. I remember enjoyed talking to the other coaches, and they'd be like, wow, this place is unbelievable. And you know what? It was like that for me too. I came here when I was at Chattanooga. And I'd never really been to East Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina, but I'd never been here. And we played down here. That was David Gerard. And I remember leaving there. I said, this is a true story because this guy reminds me of this all the time. I said, I'd like to coach there someday. That's a dream job for me. I'd like to get there. So when I got the job, the first time, they all, okay, coach, you got your dream job, whatever. So then I guess I got it twice. So I've beat the odds on that a little bit here. And Tom McClellan was here both times. So what did
You got shut out that day too.
All right, thanks for bringing that up, Tom. My God, what more thing will you do? Okay, that's piling on. That's a penalty, isn't it? Come on, man.
It's Thanksgiving week. What's
Thank
your
you,
favorite?
Jenny. Thank you for being so good.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Side?
Yep, or dessert.
Oh, well, no, I'm a potato guy. I'm Irish all the
There
way.
you
So
go.
the mashed potatoes and the gravy, that's what I go for right there.